Fiscal Fitness is made possible by our fitness partner, Coast 360 Federal Credit Union. Together we thrive.
All month long, topics dealing with financial literacy awareness are happening because that is the theme of this month. And joining me once again for Fiscal Fitness are my friends Derek Bollinger and Rowena Della Rosa. They are from Coast 360 Federal Credit Union. Welcome back, guys.
Thanks for having us again.
Good morning.
I gotta say, I love those charcoal gray, the metallic gray shirts you guys have on. Those teal ones pop too. Those are really, really nice.
We have different outfits every week, or every day of the week.
Very cool. well, you know, the one thing that does not change is your commitment to your customers, your clients, and the people that ultimately seek, borrowing information from you and going through that whole process. And I would maybe start off with this conversation about loans. Is a lot of people misinterpret the role of a lender and just say, like, you guys are I have my finger on the button and deny. I mean, you guys do everything in your power to make sure that you are basically going to give me money, providing that I prove that I am a worthwhile customer, right, Derek?
We do, and unfortunately we can't approve everybody, but we try to.
You guys are rock stars.
Yeah, well, if we could, we might, but we're lending with. What we try to do is lend responsibly, right? And we try to manage that as best we can. And we look at things like your credit score and what your income is, what your employment is. And we try we try to find the right amount for everybody that comes in.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a perfect segue right now, because again, if I, for whatever reason, don't prove myself appropriate for the particular amount that I'm seeking a loan for, that's on me. But you guys are more than willing to work with me to see if we can make that work. And knowing your credit score is probably job number one. So let's break down exactly how important that is.
Yeah, it's very important. So a lot of lenders, not just Coast 360, we use your credit score as a way to determine the risk. How risky are you as a borrower? And you think of it almost like if you went to a friend and asked them to borrow money. Your friend knows you, and he knows whether or not you're going to pay him back.
Based on reputation and history.
Right. You may have borrowed before. You borrowed that lawnmower 2 years ago and still waiting to get it back.
I've been there.
And that's what your credit report does for us. Your credit report, we may not know all the people that walk through our doors to borrow a loan, but the credit report gives us some insight as to what type of borrower you are, how you've repaid in the past, and what the likelihood is that you'll repay us in the future.
And also, when I'm sitting here with two first-class bankers, I'm not going to reveal to them whether I did return that lawnmower or not. So we'll go ahead and skip that. But they very often say that when it comes to financial information or credit history, numbers don't lie, but they also don't tell the whole truth.
Yeah.
Now, what do you guys look at in addition to the ultimate credit score and about me and my credit worthiness?
Well, if you do have some issues with your credit, we try to be understanding. Everybody goes through something in life, and it may have affected, what your credit score is, what your credit looks like. We try to be understanding with that, and we try to find what the story is behind it. And we ask ourselves if that's likely to happen again. And we don't want to make matters worse for you. So if we see that you're struggling as it is now, and a new loan may not be the best for you, we most likely won't give you another loan on top of that. If you're already drowning in debt, the last thing you might need is for us to give you another loan. And it may seem like the short-term fix for you. I need money now, but we also like to think of our members' long-term health as well.
And again, you guys are very very sympathetic, very compassionate, very willing to work. But at the end of the day, you're trying to run a business too, right? And there are other institutions here. So I know that another very advisable, and you guys even admit to this as such, would you say shop around? Like make sure that different APRs, different lending institutions, different packages and everything would suit me better.
Yeah, do your homework. Shop around, see who offers the best rates, look into the interest rates, the terms offered. It could be from 12 months to 60 months, 72 months, as well as the finance charges and if there are any fees involved. So it's very important to do your homework. And then of course, know your credit score if you've already built up one. So you have that expectation of what you could possibly qualify for in the end.
Do I have to dress like do I have to basically wear what I'm wearing right now? Because I do want to present like a proper way, and like again, reputation, history. I also
Right.
want to make sure that you guys have confidence, because Derek was talking about risk. That if I go to you seeking like your generosity and everything, that you're confident that I can fulfill my end of the bargain.
Yeah. I mean, shirts and shoes are important. We'd hate to see you walk in without a shirt, Jason, but
Probably kick me out of the bank, I would assume.
Yeah, I think you've tried that before.
That was a tank top.
Yeah, come in, be comfortable. We're not gonna, we're not gonna ding you because you don't have a suit and tie when you walk in. But be appropriate. It is a place of business. But we have people that come in t-shirt, shorts, and Zoris. Not a big deal.
There you go. It's the island way, but kind of keeping with that theme, Rowena, of making sure that my ducks are all in a row, providing not just information about myself and about my credit history, but making sure that information is accurate.
Correct.
Honesty is the best policy.
Honesty is the best policy, and financial institutions, they verify that. They ask for your income documents, supporting documents to verify if in fact you are reporting the correct income, right? Because it is important. How are we going to offer you a loan that we eventually find out you cannot afford? The ability to repay is very important to us. We don't want to cause financial hardship. We just want to be able to help and provide you that loan, assuming you have a goal for it, right? What was I getting at? So providing accurate information. If you knowingly provide false information, that actually is a crime, and it could lead to your loan getting declined eventually.
Thou shalt not lie. I know I've read that in a fairly thick book somewhere before and everything. That's a biggie, not only in the good book, but also with most lending institutions.
Right, there is a verification process involved. You don't just submit your information, submit your documents, and then expect to get approved. There's a process behind it.
Okay, well also, speaking of documentation, making sure that we have the information that you're looking for so as not to delay the process or, just, cause any confusion on your part. What forms and what documentation do you need so that I can make this, as frictionless for the both of us?
Well, that'll vary a lot of times depending on what type of loan you're applying for. But most loans that you apply for, one of the starting places would be your income documents. And that'll depend on what type of income you have. But for a lot of people, might be your pay stubs. So most places will ask for your 2 latest pay stubs. And some places may also ask for a verification of employment, which you can get from your HR department usually.
And typically you guys look if I have been with a particular organization for like 2-3 years or somewhere on there? No.
The industry standard is 2 years of employment.
Okay. So it's stability, right, and consistency?
Yeah, but we try to look at everything on a case-by-case basis.
Okay. How about if I've just changed jobs? Would it be advantageous for me to just wait a few months if at all possible, or if I just like had a lateral career change or something like that, could I still apply for a loan?
That's a good question. If you're consistently in the same field, let's say there's no interruption between your terms or the job that you had previously and the current job, and it's in the same field, we typically look at it as like a continued years of work. Now, if you're entering a new industry, there's certain conditions to that too. But if we see that you've actually maintained a job, consistently, then I think it's really just dependent. Derek, maybe you can help me with
and this is why you guys say
Yeah.
you take everybody on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
There are
Right.
specific things that you're looking
Right.
for, but also you take the totality of all of the person's information and use that.
Yeah, and that's a good
Right.
point because we're not looking at one thing in particular. So, maybe you just started a recent job, but maybe you have excellent credit history, right? So, you may be coming up a little short in one area, but there are other areas that we look at that, may be able to support where you're short in some areas.
Absolutely. Now, did I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, these are really, really nice people and they're willing to work with you. And as testament of such, when we come back from the break right here in the hotspot, Derek and Rowena are going to take your questions and are going to help you with the concerns that you have about getting a loan. So stay tuned. That is coming up next. All right, welcome back. We are continuing Fiscal Fitness where we answer your questions as well as mine. I've learned a lot already, and so we have some questions posed by our community. Derek and Rowena are here from Coast 360 Federal Credit Union. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Thinking caps are on, everybody, and here is our first video submission by you.
I just told him. No 30.
Okay, so I'll tell you what, let's handle this one right now. What kind of financing is best for me? That's interesting because I know, with lending institutions like yours, guys, you have many different types of financial instruments, things specifically geared for people in certain situations. If I'm going there and I'm, a newbie, or I haven't done this in a long time, and I haven't interacted with my bank in quite a while, how do I know what match will be best?
Yeah, and that's like you said, it's up to you as the borrower. So different institutions offer slightly different products, different rates, different fees, and different products may have different timelines. So depending on what you're trying to do with the loan, what you're trying to achieve, what you're trying to purchase, that would really drive what type of financing is best for you. And in addition to that, a lot of people have their preferred financial institutions. I would recommend starting there, and then reaching out to, like Rowena mentioned earlier, shopping around. Coast 360 is a great financial institution, but it's not the only one out there. And everyone has different lending criteria.
And that's very big of you to say too. Some people would say pick us and only us. I mean, this isn't like a dating site, right? The best match truly is the best match, and you are in the customer service industry, and you're saying, we are absolutely willing to find you the right fit.
Yeah, and that's important, I think, for something with loans. Your credit report doesn't disappear overnight. How you pay a loan, it stays with you for some time. So people who may have payroll deduction going to their existing bank, that might be a great option to start with. That money's already going to your account with that bank or credit union. Just have it directed to your loan payment.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. There is no way in God's green earth I am putting my credit score on my dating profile. But I'm crazy, but I'm not stupid. All right. We have some video submissions right now from our community, and here is what they want to know about the loan process.
Do I have all the documents that I need?
All right, interesting. We were talking about documentation and what is required before. If I'm walking into the bank for the very first time, how do I know that everything I have in hand is exactly what you'll be looking for? Because I don't want to make it seem like I'm not prepared.
Right. Yeah. The standard is basically verification of employment and 2 latest check stubs, but it could go beyond that. So basically providing all forms of income sources. If you have rental property, if you have that rental business, provide that, like a lease agreement. If you're receiving Social Security for those retirees, you could provide that. All sources of income would be best to have on hand when you're applying for a loan.
Very cool. And again, you can, if you are interested right now, you can call and you can acquire about this kind of information. I mean, there's no obligation, at least for asking about,
right.
Like what is required.
Right.
And again, you guys are more than willing to help people. All right. Next video question here is what you want to know about loans.
What fees and charges are involved?
Interesting.
Yeah, fees and charges. That's a very important question, and I think.
And again, you guys are a business. Like businesses are here. Your products and services can be exchanged for money. That's in any business 101 class you take. So yeah, I mean, there are some fees involved.
Yeah, and that's another reason why you may want to shop around. One of the biggest charges that lenders will charge is your interest rate, right? That's where most lenders will make most of their money off of that loan, and so that's a big point to shop around on. So if you a lot of lending institutions, you may have to apply to find out what rate you'll finally get. But it's hard to say what fees and charges are involved. That could vary depending on the lender, depending on the product that you're getting. So there's a lot of give and take there. So it's good to shop around.
Okay.
It's important to read the fine print as well, because
There you go.
fees are typically disclosed in the fine print. So some lenders may charge a small processing fee that adds on to the balance of your loan.
Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Right.
There you go. Okay. Final comments. Let's go ahead and bring up that graphic once more, because we do want to reiterate the key points of being able to work with your lender. Get the most out of it. There you are. Know your credit score. Shop around, as they were saying. Make sure. My mama told me you better shop around. The very musical lyric, and absolutely rings true here. Understand the terms that you will be dealing with as far as your APR, as far as your payment term, your obligations. Providing information that is 100% accurate. The truth will set you free, and it will get you that loan. And then prepare necessary documentation. Guys, final question for me before I let you guys go. If I should, for whatever reason, not be approved for the loan I seek, right, for the amount or the terms I'm going after and everything like that, is that information that will be shared throughout the lending community? And would I have like a blemish on my mark? Is it like, would I have a strike against me that everybody else would see?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. We encounter that a lot. When you apply for a loan, that inquiry to your credit report will show up on your credit report. So it'll show that you had applied for a loan or applied for financing with different lenders. It does not show the status. So whether you're approved or declined or you canceled or withdrew, that information doesn't make it to your credit report.
I like that. I think that's very, very fair.
Right.
So there is no like 3 strikes and you're out clause or anything like that.
No, and then what we do too is we always find ways to help, right? So if there's a way to counter offer you, let's say you want more, but you can qualify for a lower amount, we can assist you with that and share some information. There's also such a thing as a joint borrower in case you need the additional income, somebody else can apply for you. So there are other options, and like you mentioned, it's best to ask questions.
And again, you know, even though I may be applying for the loan, you guys are basically appealing to me too and saying, you know, if you are in the process of looking for money that you will pay back, consider us.
Right.
You know, so it is this very mutual relationship that we're trying to establish. And real quick, you know, I was going to make like a sports analogy when I said the 3 strikes are out, because of course, Derek Mandel, one of our most cherished athletes, 1996 Olympian in swimming,
Yes.
competed.
Bollinger, though.
Derek
But
Bollinger.
what did I say?
Mandel, but he's also Olympian.
He's also
Olympian.
pretty.
Okay, that sounded good in my head, but shout out to Derek Mandel, also an Olympian, but of course, Derek Bollinger competed in swimming in Atlanta in '96. So
Yes.
all right.
Thanks.
Really, really good times. Okay, and Rowena, wonderful information, very, very timely, very, very useful, and stuff that people can take with them for free. You got any questions? Make sure to call Coast 360 at what's the number?
477-8736, or you can visit our website, coast360fcu.com.
All right, real quick, we will be doing Fiscal Fitness all week, but now here is our friend Claire Calvo with Weekly Renewal.